Guys, so this particular video is going to just give you guys the juice into why your Nigerian degree is almost useless in Australia. And when I say this, I just need to make a few disclaimers. First of all, it is almost useless. So I'm not saying that if you have a Nigerian degree, you don't have any hope of getting a job or furthering your education. No, I'm not saying that. And also, I'm not saying this applies to all Nigerian degrees. So as you watch this video, I am going to try to explain in detail what to expect if you actually have a bachelor's degree from Nigeria. So the first thing that comes to mind real quick is, what I would call a level of segregation. And I'm saying this because I know a lot of my Australian friends are gonna see this video, and I really don't know how far this video is gonna go, but I really need to say it right now because I feel like we are being relegated, and it's just unjust. It's not, the ideal society that we envision ourselves to be. I understand that Nigerian education system has its setbacks, and but I do know for a fact that we have a lot of smart Nigerians, me as one, and a lot of other people that I consider to be my friends, who are really smart Nigerians and intelligent, and who I would even say are far more intellectually balanced than many other people across the world. You guys know this, but before I even talk more about that, let's just get into the juice. So if you have a Nigerian degree from any school apart from University of Lagos, University of Ibadan, and Obafemi Awolowo University, you are considered to be a second-class degree holder here in Australia. I'm going to try to explain it as best as possible using my own personal scenario. So when I came into Australia to join my family, I never really had the intention of furthering my education. I just wanted to come here, settle in, get to know the environment and get a job, and just live my life. But when I came in, it was like COVID was really crazy and really intense then. So a lot of companies were offering employment and were asking you to do them from home. And the same thing worked with universities as well. And they were like, okay, you can study online. So I was like, okay, fine. I have a job that I was doing from home. I was able to work around balancing my home, my family affairs, and I was like, okay, I still have a lot of time, and I was like, what would be the best thing to put this time into? And I was like, okay, fine, why not just pursue my master's? So you guys who already know me know I have a degree from a private uni in Benin, Nigeria, and for those who really know me, you guys know the grade I came out with. I did come out in distinction. And when I started to lodge my application, I started to look at a lot of schools. I think I selected about 5 to 6 of them, based on the school fees and what I could really afford and what I could be able to work around with, especially since I already had a lot of personal commitments already. But after about 2, 3, 4 weeks, when the application outcomes started coming back to my email, guys, I was stopped dead in my tracks. What I started to get were things I never imagined were true. So I'm very familiar with the UK, university admission systems, which have helped a lot of people to do, and maybe to an extent the US as well. And yeah, of course Canada, but Australia was, I don't know why I didn't really bother to do a lot of research, because the things I started to see were the most shocking events of my educational journey, all my life. And I started getting emails reading, we're sorry, we're not able to admit you into the Masters of Teaching program because your Nigerian degree is not equivalent to our Australian bachelor's degree. And I was like, is this some sort of joke? Like, Shay you didn't want me, what exactly is going on here? You know, and when I started to make calls, you know, to some of these international, you know, admission officers, and they were like, oh, we're sorry, we had to use the AQF structure. Now, the AQF is the Australian Qualifications Framework. Now, what it does is it compares your degree, like all foreigners, like from whatever part of the world that you're in, it compares all foreigners' degrees to the Australian bachelor, master's, doctoral degrees. Now, for Nigerians, when I did go back into that document, because it's actually available online, but you have to pay to like access it. I think it's roughly around $40 or $50 to access that document. When I checked the document, guys, I was held in my tracks because I saw my university, like Benson Idahosa University, and it was equivalent to an associate degree here in Australia. Now, an associate degree is a degree that is done for only 3 years here in Australia. Only 3. And what that meant for me was that in their own, like according to their perspective, I still had 1 more year of university or tertiary education that I needed to do for my certificate to be recognized. And I can't like go back and tell BIU that, see, I have to do 1 more year because they offer the course for 4 years. It's not a 5 years course. So I was then left with the option of, you know, what do I do now? Like, where do I go from here? Now, I'm going to tell you guys, like, this is so bad that even colleges were refusing my application, because I was like, you know, let's just put these universities apart, because there's this idea that colleges are much more, you know, they're less stricter with, you know, viewing applications and stuff. And I applied into colleges as well, and I was told the same thing, like, I'm so sorry, your degree is not this, it's not that, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to come back when you have blah blah blah. It was that bad. I was completely heartbroken. I was shattered, and it started to really make sense to me because, like I said, I didn't really want to study initially. I wanted to just take my time to, you know, do things around here. And it started to make sense to me because when I looked at that framework, I could see that schools in Kenya, like all the schools in Kenya, were recognized. And if you have a bachelor's degree from Kenya, you are considered equivalent to a bachelor's degree in Australia. The same thing applies to South Africa. So I think it's just those 2 countries. And I'm like, my Nigeria, the whole giant of Africa, like the giant of Africa, what is going on? And guys, it was still funny to me at this time. Like, it was still funny, but guess what? It didn't get funny anymore. So what later happened? There were still some universities who were like, despite the fact that you cannot enroll into the masters, we will offer you a pathway program to do. Now, the pathway program would get you familiar with the culture, what to expect in the classroom, because this was like in my field, right? I know for other people's fields, it might be different. I'm getting to know the indigenous cultures, getting to know Australian values, and, you know, all these things and all these things. So the pathway program just, you know, was just meant to, you know, get me to understand, you know, the culture, the, you know, digital teaching in the 21st century, what the Australian child is like, and a whole lot of other things. Now, guys, quote me when I say this, I spent roughly around $23,000 on that pathway program. Now, that pathway program had like 9 subjects, and each subject were like 2,800 naira per subject. $2,800. Did I just say naira? Oh my god, $2,800 per subject, and I could only do like a maximum of 4 subjects in a semester. That's in 4 months, 3-4 months. I could only do 4. So I was only able to finish the program in like a year and spend around $23,000. I'm like, I'm never gonna spend this amount of money studying in Nigeria, getting a master's degree in Nigeria. Like, kilo fefa, like, sure you don't want me, because I don't understand what is going on, guys. Like, at this point, it was no longer funny. And then I was, you know, having to juggle work, having to juggle my family, having to juggle studying. Like, it was mad as insane. Like, it was crazy. And then, you know, I started to do the program, and then to even now shock you guys, yeah, like those 9 subjects did not automatically qualify me for a bachelor's program. What those 9 subjects did qualified me to then do the remaining subjects I needed for my bachelor's to pass out with a Bachelor of Teaching. So in my own case, what happened was that I was given a pathway program for those 9 subjects, and then after I finished the pathway program, I was then given a lineup of another about 5 or 6 subjects to do, which then included, you know, professional teaching practice and, you know, Lantai test. You know, for those of you who are teachers here in Australia, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Lantai test, and then before I would then be able to, you know, be qualified to, you know, come out with a Bachelor of Teaching. So as in, it is a sad thing to experience. I mean, if I have that, like, so at the end of everything, I will end up spending about maybe $35,000 or $33,000 to get a Bachelor of Teaching in Australia. And you know, it's just really sad because this was not exactly where I pictured I was gonna start from. So it's like backtracking me like all the way. Like I just felt like I was, you know, thrown off. And then the whole thing is like, see, it even affected getting a job. Like it's that bad. It's not even about wanting to study alone. I was so persistent, and I knew it was going to be worth it because I don't see myself doing anything else apart from teaching. Like, to be honest, I love to teach, I love education, and we're going to talk about all of that later. So at this point, I was like, okay, fine, what would be the next thing? And then I started to do the program because knowing that this is where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, I just felt, okay, fine, let me just commit to this. And you know, in a year and 6 months, I'm gonna be done dusting my paper and like, okay, fine, I'm good to go to register now to be a teacher in the States. And that was just the whole thing for me, guys. It's really insane. It's terrible madness. We don't deserve this as Nigerians. We work so hard to get that, you know, education that we have, you know, despite the, you know, poor situation and circumstances surrounding the Nigerian education system. I just feel we deserve more, and I really do not know how far this video is gonna go, but trust me, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a few minutes to talk about what you can actually still achieve with your Nigerian's degree, like your Nigerian's bachelor's degree, even if you don't go to Unilag or UI or OAU. So this is why I said almost useless, right? So it's not exactly, you know, like bad. It's just that it's not recognized. So then you have an associate degree. So what that means is if you want to further, you have to do a pathway program. Like there is no going back about it, except you want to go to the UK or I don't even know about Canada, like, because I know Canada and Australia, they're like, you know, friends, you know, like similar vibes, one kind. So if you guys know, I probably asked my brother this, if you guys know what is it like in Canada, is your Nigerian degree completely equivalent to, like, from any uni to the Canadian bachelor's degree? Is it the same thing? Is it recognized the same? Because I need to also know this. And you know, so if you should expect lower pay. Like, yes, expect lower pay, because I did mention that so there is this structure which they used to pay, you know, staff members for every kind of industry, and they check like your experience, your education and stuff like that to determine a pay structure. And employers are like very, you know, key on that particular document. I think it's called Fair Works Australia. So it's open to the general public. If you want to work in this industry, this is the experience you have, this is the education you have, you will see the amount you're able to earn. So the better your education, the better what you earn. The better your experience, the better what you earn. So for someone like me, I'm still earning lesser than what I should be earning because my degree is not. So as soon as I, like, you know, upgrade, I can then, you know, talk to my employer, let them know, okay, fine, I've upgraded my education and I would like to be reviewed for, you know, this payment that is recommended by Fair Works Australia. So it is really sad, guys, and I just felt like sharing my story. It has not been funny. You know, all that money I could have probably used in, you know, a lot of other things I can even imagine right now, and you know, it's just heartbreaking, right? It's heartbreaking, and all the time and effort that it takes. I have to study, burn the midnight candle, you know, prepare for exams. It is stressful, and you know, it's for me, I just feel like the good part is that it's worth it. And this is just where I feel like, okay, I could actually begin my life here from, because I don't want to then put it in the bag and then struggle all the way. I just want to be able to get what I need and then just build my my life, my career from there. Because it's already one thing being a Nigerian person in a in a work environment where there's like a lot of white people. I'm someone who is very smart and confident. I don't let that get to me. But you're getting paid less for almost the same job, and your morale is just not really kicking in. So this is something I wanted to share with you guys. What is your experience like? If you've been in Australia, or you came to Australia with your bachelor's degree and you wanted to further, or you wanted to get a job, what was your experience like? Did you have any sort of issues? Did you have any sort of do you have any advice that you can give? Maybe I went about it the wrong way. Maybe other people were able to do it differently. How did you do it? Let us know in the comment section. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and I will try to constantly update as more information come out in regards to this particular message, and let you guys know if things do change. So thanks for watching, and please do not forget to click, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Bye.